What's going on? Welcome in, welcome in to those of you who are just now tuning in. My name is Jessica Harris, and this channel is all about keeping you encouraged on your faith walk journey of love, life, and truly everything in between. That being said, I am the founder of Ignite Your Glow, which is a whole movement dedicated to women like you who are ready to overcome self limiting belief systems, old mindsets, and so much more. This is a place where you're able to begin amplifying your voice so you can begin walking boldly in your God given purpose. Now, I have had so many technical difficulties today, and I'm looking like, Lord, what is going on? From the computer to the phone, everything has been doing the most for me wanting to talk about this topic that I knew was stirring inside of me earlier. And I'm like, huh? So let me go ahead and give you a little piece of what's been on my mind. So earlier, I had an amazing opportunity to be in a live class. And during our class, we were talking about different things when it came to women in business. And one of the highlighted areas that was coming up was the concept of rejection and how these ladies felt about being rejected when they came to hearing the word no. And I knew for me that this was an area that I had heard so much about, especially coming from a marketing background with different companies that I've worked in the past, as well as working in MLM. So I had a variety of experiences in different areas, y'all, etc. But it was the concept, right? Because I remember hearing a lot of people tell me, as you go into those fields, you want to think about the concept of what may take place. And one of the things that these ladies were talking about was the fact that being a woman in business, when it comes to being rejected, oftentimes you're being rejected. Hey, how are you, Aretha? What's going on? Good afternoon. These ladies were talking about being rejected in business, and really because they were coming against male counterparts. And I wanted to really highlight this part because I feel like when I was growing up watching other women who were in business, oftentimes they felt as though they had to be more stern than when it came to the male figures who were also in business next to them. So if you looked at a male manager and a woman manager, for whatever reason, the woman felt as though she had to overcompensate. And being in this room that I was in earlier today, I saw that a lot of women saw the same things taking place, that they weren't able to be seen or taken as seriously when it came to asking for money, when it came to going into investment, when it came to just being in different arenas and spheres of influence. Some of these ladies, they were in sports management and they were looking like, listen, I'm one of the only females in this sector. So when it comes to them being introduced to other things, other people weren't willing to hear them out because of who they are, who they showed up as. And there was a class that I took last month, and one of the highlights from it was understanding this. As a woman, technically speaking, you're almost already at a disadvantage because you are female when it comes to being in business. So you want to be able to pay attention to your audience. You want to be able to pay attention to who's in the room and how your approach is. One of the biggest things that I had to learn was understanding not allowing your passion to come off as you being angry. And it's so crazy to hear that and say that when it comes to the rejection, but that's what happens. Because these ladies who were in the room, they were so focused on the emotions that were attached to their business because they have passion about what they were interested in doing and how they wanted to make this impact. But one of the things that they had to recognize was just because you're passionate about what it is that you're interested in doesn't mean that everybody around you has that same passion, or better yet, they don't understand the reason as to why you feel that way. So learning how to approach it in the angle of how are you speaking, the tone of voice that you're using is going to be important. And I wanted to share this because the way the conversation was moving earlier was that it was more than just me and more than just those that were in the room that was going through this. Because there's a lot of women who want to step out in business, but for whatever reason, they feel intimidated by those that are surrounding them or the people that are near them, or they don't feel as though that they're adequate or that they're capable of being a step out in this influence because maybe they don't have the degree that they need. Maybe they don't have the quote unquote experience. But the truth is, you probably have already been practicing and honing in on this craft. Some people are so good at certain things that they see it as a hobby, but truth be told, you can already monetize it. But some people are so afraid of asking for what it is that they need in order for them to get what it is that they necessarily need to pay for the tools or to pay for the services or fees because they look at the situations that are around them. These ladies that were in this room, they talked about how hearing the word no when people would try to invest in their company would make them feel as though that they were inadequate. And I wanted to share this concept because I feel like oftentimes we get caught up in our emotions when it comes to business. We could look at things and be like, oh, well, everybody should support me. They like me, they follow me, they hear me, they know me, they see me. But the reality is that those who are going to support you 9 times out of 10 are going to be strangers that are around you. People who have never even seen you are most likely going to be the ones who are going to be in your back pocket, in your corner for you, rooting for you through and through. And I wanted to bring that up because sometimes I feel like the closest people that we're expected to be the part of us aren't always going to be the ones that are going to stick with us. It's those who don't know us. That's why showing up consistently is necessary. That's why detaching from the results makes a difference. When you're sitting there not getting so close to the results of the situation, you don't allow it to taint you and to tarnish you. You don't allow it to cause you to feel as though I'm not good enough or my service or product isn't worth it. Instead, you allow yourself to say, okay, I can do this. And you look at the no as a next opportunity. I think that's the biggest part that I had to really get the ladies to see from my perspective during the call that we had earlier today, was looking at the no that you're receiving as the next opportunity and not allowing the fact that you're a woman to stop you from walking in any industry that you're breaking into. You could be the very first woman walking on stages in places that are operated by mostly men. And just because there's men in the audience doesn't mean that they can't relate to you. It simply means that maybe, just maybe, you have to change your messaging just a little bit for them to be able to understand the experience or that your value that you're offering. Sometimes it's just a matter of what you're saying, your messaging. Sometimes a matter of just clarifying the pieces. And I feel like sometimes we get so caught up on how we feel that we forget that there's this objective that's in front of us that is far more important than our temporary feelings. Because our feelings, they're temporary. I'm gonna feel happy right now, mad tomorrow, sad the next day, and keep pushing. But the objective of what it is that I'm offering is gonna remain the same. So when I can stand objectively at a situation, that I'm able to make things more evident for those who need it, and I can showcase the value in a different way. So whatever it is that you're offering, whatever it is that you're bringing forth to the table, let that message be clear, let it be productive, and don't allow your feelings to get in the way. So that is what I wanted to get off my chest. I didn't have too many technical difficulties, and now I have to get to work. So peace and blessings, and I hope you have a great day whenever I can get this live to end.